Righty, a couple of months into pre-season, how are things progressing?
Yeah, no, it's going nicely. We've got a lot of lads away in Australia at the moment, all the smart ones there in the sun. So we've got quite a small group who are here. So it's all very individual focused stuff at the moment, but it's good. Nice to be around everyone.
A bit of a different winter for yourself as well, back earlier than in previous years. How have you found that?
Yeah, no, it's been good. Like I said, it's been quite individually tailored. So everyone, in theory, is getting very specific stuff done. And obviously we're blessed with quite a lot of time, so you can make some really good gains in this winter period.
Obviously working closely with Alfonso as well. What kind of specific things have you been focusing on?
Well, where I'm a bit older, it's quite skill focused really. I'm toying with a slightly different position on the crease, just to sort of try and make my stock ball more effective. For everyone who's watching who's really knowledgeable and stuff, so I'm trying to create a little bit of a different angle there. And I'll probably be doing some more around the wicket stuff at left-handers. So yeah, it's quite interesting winter.
Obviously fitness a focus too. How tough was it to come back last year, sort of airdropped into the season, having not had that pre-season or the first few months of the campaign under your belt? Yeah,
really tough. I mean, obviously, firstly, mentally, it was a tough period because you don't realise how much you miss everyone really. You know, when you're because you're used to just being around them all the time. So that was tough. From a physical perspective, yeah, it makes you realise how important that pre-season is the gradual build up in intensity. Because obviously normally we play a uni game, and then we play like a domestic friendly or two. Obviously all the nets outside, and then you move into that championship block. Whereas it was very tough this year coming straight into the Metro Bank, which is, I think you could argue, it's the hardest format physically. Do you know what I mean? It's a long period, and the intensity's relatively high, so it is a tough block. So yeah, no, it was tough, but you know, glad to have got through it and had a nice winter so far under my belt.
It was a tough campaign to come back in, like you mentioned, with the one-day cup, games being so quickly knitted together. I think at the back end there was 3 games in a week before that semi-final, where Somerset had an 8-day break. How tough was that on the body, and how proud were you of the team to get to a semi-final and come within touching distance again of that trophy? Yeah,
you've called it exactly right there. Ultimately, I think Somerset were a really good team, and I'm actually surprised they didn't win the whole thing, to be fair. Yeah, I thought they'd have beaten Glamorgan. It was a stretch too far for us to have to play that volume of games in that week leading up to it, whereas I think they had, like, did you say 8 days to prepare for it or something like that? So they were definitely fresher, but we did really well to get through it, both physically and mentally. Obviously, you look back, and, you know, potentially earlier in the group stage, I think there was a game to Surrey that we lost at Kibworth, and you reflect on that, and it's like, we should have won that game, and then we'd have had the first place in the group, I think, and stuff like that. So it would have panned out a bit different, but again, that went the way it did. Somerset were really good, and that was just a tiny stretch too far for us. But fingers crossed for this year, you know.
Looking ahead to this year, on a personal note, you'll hit a milestone birthday this summer, playing at 40, which is, as a fast bowler, not many have done that. How strong is the motivation for you to keep taking wickets and keep winning games of cricket?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm excited to still be playing. I love cricket and enjoy bowling. I think that's a huge part of it. Do you know what I mean? You get, I mean, age is just a number, right? You know, it's how are you mentally, how are you physically and stuff. And I still enjoy day to day playing and being around the lads. So I think that's a huge part of that. So credit to everyone else for being so nice, really. But yeah, motivation wise, I'm close to 600 first class wickets, that's been a goal. More than just playing for an amount of years is those sorts of targets, and we're close as a team. You know, last year we were, I think, arguably a game or two away in every comp from that next level up. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's talking about promotion, winning the Metro Bank, or getting into the quarterfinals of the T20. So we're close and we're going in the right direction. So it's a really good place to be involved and be part of.
Just quickly looking back on you turning 40 as well. You've seen earlier this week Jimmy Anderson continuing playing this year. Is he maybe someone you can look to for a little bit of inspiration to keep going? Yeah, well, I mean,
I'll be honest, I think if you're good enough, your age is irrelevant, whether that's you're young or whether you're old, right? If you do a job, we're paid to do a job. If you do it and you do it well, then you should be rewarded with, keep playing and stuff. He is obviously a freak, right? He's super, he's the pinnacle, isn't he? He's like the best bowler ever. He's in great condition and stuff like that. And he's so efficient. If you actually watch him bowl, I can't imagine he puts too much pressure on himself, even the way he is technically. But yeah, absolutely, he's a great role. I'd be amazed if he wasn't a role model for anyone, let alone me at 40. Do you know what I mean? But it'd be good to play against him, hopefully.
And on the other end of the spectrum, Leicestershire producing a battery of young and giant quicks as well, the likes of Sam Wood, Josh Hull, Alex Green. How excited are you to see that crop come through and to play alongside them?
Yeah, no, totally. I'm just thinking, I've played with them all now, actually, and you know what? It's exciting because we're building this group, and there's no getting away from it. In today's game, there has to be a bit of movement and flexibility. You have to be able to rotate and keep guys fresh. So to have 3 young lads, all with their abilities, and they have slightly different skill sets, which is cool. No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant for the club, obviously them being homegrown, and it's great for the bowlers who are already in the unit, established, who hopefully can guide them, but also we can rotate a bit, and it should benefit everybody. Them coming through.
And just finally, you touched on being a game or two away in the comps last year. As a collective, what do you think this group can achieve this time around?
Well, again, I love the idea of promotion into Div 1. So I think not last year, the year before last, I don't necessarily think we'd been quite ready as a team. But I feel like last year we perhaps, and I know I missed a decent chunk, which doesn't help, right? Because I'm not going to be our older senior bowler and stuff. But yeah, we are close and we're tracking the right way. So it's just a natural progression. We just got to stick with it. And I think if we all try, and a bit of a cliche, but find little 10% here and there, that should add up to quite a lot. White ball in the 50 over format, I would expect us again to be pushing for semi-finals and beyond. It'd be amazing to win that again. And then the T20, yeah, I feel like we're just a little slow out the traps, and that'd be great if we can come out the traps a bit quicker. That tends to be the trend that I've seen, but I don't see why we can't get into the quarterfinals. And from the quarterfinals, I genuinely feel like it's a bit of a lottery. I think like the group stage, you tend to see that it's a fair reflection of how teams perform and whatever their qualities are. But quarterfinals and beyond is absolutely anyone. So if you get out of the group stage, then you can go all the way. I think anybody that gets out of the group phase can go and win it.